Dr. Swamy, thank you for speaking to Republic TV this evening. You know the facts of this case, and you've been also fighting the Gandhis for a while. They have been called, I mean, the court hasn't called them liars, but they have been accused of hiding facts, and their motive has been questioned. Dr. Swamy, your response, sir, this afternoon, this evening.
That's right. I have a criminal case pending, and there are 4 charges. And this is an offshoot of that case. I had written the complaint to the income tax authorities in 2015. And there was a certain delay which took place because Mr. Jaitley was not in favor of going ahead with it. But subsequently, I'm thankful to the Prime Minister. He ensured that nobody interfered with this kind of process. And that's how the income tax sent a notice on 27th December 2017. And then these people went in appeal. And the appeal has been more drastic than the original income tax assessment order. And it is actually almost made my case complete, because my case is based on cheating, on misappropriation, criminal misappropriation of property, breach of trust, and conspiracy. All has been proved now by the income tax in this appellate status. And a 75-page report has come out, and I think that is worth reading for everybody.
Dr. Swamy, the court has said, and I quote, that a clandestine and surreptitious transfer of the lucrative interest has taken place in the premises to Young India. Now, this is something that you've been saying all along, that I remember that you once, were talking about how these properties were used basically, running into hundreds of crores. They're valued at over 400 crores, if I'm not wrong. And they were not doing much there, except when, action really was taken against them. They started, this entire National Herald and all of these companies were kicked back into action after the crackdown began. Isn't that correct, sir?
Yes, absolutely. But once I went to the Patiala House Court and filed a criminal complaint, and summons was issued, that meant they were prima facie guilty. And then all these other agencies were moved in. Now the latest one will be Enforcement Directorate, because there's been money laundering also done by them. That case is also about to be registered. So then, of course, the Urban Development Ministry has said that this land was given to you at cheap price only because to print a newspaper, and you're not doing it. They claim, no, we have restarted the National Herald, but they're not printing it there. They're printing it in Indian Express. So therefore, that also was a fraud. And the building was given to Tatas, and it was given to multinational corporations. They are collecting rent. So in every way, they have committed cheating and breach of trust. So that's the case. And right now, we are in an advanced stage in the main case. And I think by July, they should be convicted.
Dr. Swamy, one last question. I just want to, also quote from the order, because there is one mention where it says that the manner in which a loan of 90 crore was assigned by AICC, manner in which loan of 90 crore was assigned by AICC to Young Indian for a paltry consideration of 50 lakh rupees does not reflect the real intent of the transaction. Not all these facts indicate that the assessee company had any clear conscience or intent for acquiring the AGL to carry out the charitable activities. Are you saying they use charity garb to make personal profits because the assessee, and in this case the Gandhis, are direct shareholders? Is that the money laundering that you're talking about?
No. Where did they get this 50 lakhs to pay the Congress party? That 50 lakhs has come by money laundering from a Calcutta money laundering company. And that's a separate case. The fact of the matter is that the Congress party falsely stated that they accepted the plea of the AJL, that is the Associated Journals Limited, that they cannot pay back the loan of 90 crores. So it became a dud debt. So the Young Indian company then approached the Congress party and said that, you see, now it has become dud debt, but we'll give you 50 lakhs and you assign that to our name. And we'll become the owner of this, the debt. And then having got that, they converted that debt into 9 lakh shares at 10 rupees each and got 99.1% of the share capital of AJL and thus acquired the company. Now, the fraud was that the office bearers of the directors of Young Indian are also the office bearers of Congress Party and also on the board of directors of the AJL. So it's such a blatant conspiracy. I've never seen this in criminal law anywhere. They're all the same people. And AJL had property worth 5,000 crores and they could not discharge a loan of 90 crores. So all this was the intention, as is pointed out, was always doubtful from the beginning.
Dr. Swamy, it's getting very interesting, and I thank you for joining us this evening as we break the story and the details of the tribunal. We look forward to speaking to you in the next couple of days as well, because the story is going to get much bigger because the plea has been dismissed, which means the entire tax files case has just opened up. Is that correct? It's now opened up. The story has just begun.
No, the final stage has begun. The story has already almost completed. They are out on bail, prima facie proved. Now the cross-examinations are going on. The documents have to be identified. And then the trial begins. And the trial it's all based on documents, not on witnesses. So it will be over very quickly. That's why I'm saying by July they should be convicted.
Okay, sir. Let's see where the story goes. Dr. Swamy joining us on the big breaking story. Thank you, Dr. Swamy. Let me